Hey guys.
Hey guys.
This is Mike
And Shoshana
Bowens, and we're coming to you from Make It Last Forever. We're going to give you another special topic.
Yes.
This one is called Married but Living Single. Ooh,
That's a bomb if I ever heard.
That's a bomb going on. Married but living single. I just want to start off by saying, you know, people when they get married, you know, they understand that if they go to the courthouse or they go to a church and they have a minister marry them, you know, in their minds they're like, okay, we got married. You know, spiritually, okay, we're married spiritually. But they don't understand that when you get married, it's all of you that's married. You don't lose you, but it's all of you, if that makes sense.
It makes sense, yeah.
You know, I hear a lot of married couples be like, well, I ain't putting my bank account with his bank account. Her bank account ain't going with my bank account. Now, it's one thing if you have a joint account, and then you have two separate accounts, or how many other separate accounts for spending money, for shopping.
And you know about it.
And you know about it.
Let's put that in there.
and you know about it. Don't be trying to be out there, you know, going to the club.
Mama said to put it away for some rainy days.
Make it rain. No, maybe make it rain at home.
Yes.
You know. She's like, yeah, I'm going shopping. She just come in the house with all these Louis Vuitton bags on.
Like, where'd that money come from?
She's like, yeah, we said we're going to do that. We're going to put it away. What's the problem? Then you want to argue and fight. No, you got to communicate.
Yes.
Communicate. You know, so it's one thing if you have accounts separate that the both of you know about.
Yes.
And you're able to say, hey, I got this much in this account, you got that much in your account, and you know, you can roll, you can keep moving forward then. And likewise, you know, but couples that don't even want to have accounts together. Now, I can understand if that person's an alcoholic, if that person's a gambler, if that person, you know, have bad money managing skills, maybe one person needs to have the money in their account as long as they're trustworthy with that money.
Right.
And they're just not going to spend it all. That is understandable.
Right.
Because you don't want to do something like that. Because one person will just squander everything.
Money, yeah.
And I'm talking about married but living single. You know, you go out when you want, come in when you want. You don't have no consideration for your spouse. You don't call them, listen, I'm going to be late from work, or I'm going out with the fellas for a little bit, or I'm going to hang with my girls for a little bit. Are you okay with that? You know, it's just like, I'm going to do me. And you can't do you
when you're married.
And you're supposed to do we. When you're married, you gotta, that part of you must die.
Yes.
So that the two of you can live. You know, do you want to say anything?
It's just so funny to me. You know, nowadays you're finding a lot of married people, married couples that are doing things separately. I mean, everything they're doing separately. Like, they're sleeping in separate beds, separate rooms.
Now, how does that work?
How does that work? Like, you're under the same roof, you're married together. How does, like, when my husband is not in the bed with me, it feels so weird. Like, I literally cannot sleep well. You know, and so you see, it's a lot more of those things that are happening because... And
that's only because of work.
And that's only because of work. That's right. Yes, work takes them away, you know, some nights. But it's like, nowadays you see a lot of those things that are happening, you know, that everything is so separated now. And it's like, you discipline the kids differently, and if I don't like it, then I'm going to say something. You know, and vice versa. I'm going to cook this and you cook that. I'm going to do this and you do that. And it's like, where did the breakdown start? You know, you have to decide that, hey, listen, we're married and we do everything together. Now, if you come in an agreement, you say, well, we're not gonna, you know, there are certain things that you don't do together. Let me put it this way. When you go out with your girlfriends, that's a different thing. When you go out with your guy friends, that's a different thing. But I'm talking about, you know, like my husband said with the bank account situation, and, you know, sleeping in the same beds together. And you got people, married couples, that are living in different houses, different homes,
different states,
different countries.
Call on the phone, how you doing? Yeah, I'm good. You good? I'm all right. When you do that, you're letting
the enemy in.
You're letting the enemy come in and destroy your marriage, because that's when you're gonna see Mr. Tall, dark, and handsome, looking like a tall chocolate glass of milk. Come up on you. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
With the Barry White voice.
How you doing? How you doing, baby? How you doing, baby? You want me to help you with your groceries? He don't just want to help you with your groceries. If you know what I mean.
Exactly.
When that's fellas, that's when you're gonna see Miss Miss Tatiana, she gonna come, and if your name is Tatiana, I don't mean this to you.
Exactly.
You're gonna see Miss Tatiana come up on you.
With the boobs and the
everything.
butt and nice hair.
You know, everything. She's like, can you help me with my groceries?
Yes.
And she don't just want you to help her with her groceries, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. So it's like, you know, you gotta close the gap between each other. Do whatever it takes so that not only are you married on paper, but that you're married in spirit. You're married in mind. You're married in finance. You're married together. Now, granted, there may be some things that you don't want to do together. But as long as you communicate that with one another and you both are okay with it, then that's fine. But just, you know, I'm gonna be out. You don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm gonna be back.
No accountability.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. I mean, we're not saying to be all up under each other. You know, that's definitely not what we're saying. But we're just saying, like, if you're not gonna do certain things together, at least have the respect for each other to say, hey, listen, I'm going out with my girls, you know, and you know we're gonna be here, and you know I'll be back at this time or whatever. And it's like, it's checking in, it's being accountable with one another. And you can call it whatever you like. Oh, you know,
just common courtesy.
I'm not gonna do that because I'm my own woman, I'm my own man, I'm independent here.
Then you shouldn't have got married.
You shouldn't have got married because you still have that single attitude. And you cannot have a single attitude and being married. It's never
going to
work. It's never going to work. And then too, it's like you're in the house, you're in the home, but you're not even communicating with each other. You're not talking to each other. You're not voicing your opinions. If you're angry or whatever, nobody knows that you're angry but you. You know, and so it's like you cannot bring that single attitude in your home, in your marriage, in your bed. You know, oh, I don't want to do nothing right now because I'm tired. I work all day and I just can't. Granted, there are some days when you are exhausted, but if you can push the lever a little bit and say, you know what, babe, I love you, I'm tired, but let's do something. You know, it'll help your marriage. It'll help your marriage to stay, you know, glued, to stay tight when you can do that. When you're living single, you're all about you. It's all about you, what you want to do, where you want to go, how you want to do it, blah, blah, blah. When you get married, it's about us, what we want to do together and how we're going to communicate, you know, the different things that we want to do, because you do have your own identity, but you're still one, you know, so you sort of have to try to craft that and work it and see how it's going to work for you to make your marriage work so that you're not living single.
Married but living single. I mean, for some people, the most thing that's married about them is the ring on their finger.
Exactly.
And you know, a dog, I would say, can sniff out food. Now you have men out there. I know them. I know them. They will find a married woman, and the first question they'll ask her is,
"Are you happy?
Are you happy?
You happy in your
Are
marriage?"
you happy? And you know, most women, if you're not happy,
they don't tell you.
A dog can sniff you out. If he knows you're not happy, and you need to stay close with your husband, men, you need to stay close with your wives, because a dog can sniff out your unhappiness.
Absolutely.
And that's the last thing that you want.
Absolutely.
So when you're married, live like you're married, act like you're married, and your marriage will improve and get better. But if you're married and living single, then it's only a matter of time for you to separate and head towards the direction of divorce. We're here to decrease divorce and increase the marriage rate.
Absolutely. And think about, I know we have to go, but just think about your kids as well. If you have kids, you know, they're looking up to you, and that's the next generation. So what they see in the household, they're going to repeat, you know, and it's a proven fact that kids that are affected by divorce or that are affected by any type of things that's going on in the household negatively, it's a proven fact that they do struggle in school. They struggle in their they're growing up. They struggle with that. So don't just think about, you know, me, you. You also have to think about your kids. It's very important for you to stick together.
Yeah, and I know what most people are thinking right now. I want to end, but I can't. Because you know what most people are thinking right now? Well, I'm not going to be unhappy
while being married.
Just for the sake of my kids. They just going to have to understand.
Yeah.
Now, who said that you have to be unhappy?
Exactly.
There are tools, just like there's tools to bake a cake, eggs, sugar, flour, butter, milk, to, you know, put in the oven for a certain amount of time. There's tools to a marriage. And likewise, you only can do your part. But at least if you're doing your part, you know you're doing all you can to make it work.
And I think nowadays, you know, I think what's happening nowadays is that people are so selfish that they don't even want to work it out. Like some type of problem arrive in a marriage and they don't even want to work it out. They quickly want to run to separation. They quickly want to run
It's a Hollywood
to divorce.
marriage.
It's a Hollywood marriage. And I don't think that you should let the media or celebrities or whatever guide your marriage, your relationship, because this is real life. Like we do life together, you know, and so you can't just sit there and be like, oh, you know, I can't stand him no more, I'm done. No, you knew the person that you were getting involved with when you got married. So now what you have to do is you have to work on it. And sometimes it's not even that person. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes you got to get a grip.
Sometimes it's you, boo.
Sometimes you got to get a grip and just reevaluate you, like your attitude. You know, what is it that I'm bringing to the marriage? You take responsibility for yourself and your spouse take responsibility for him or herself. You know, what am I bringing to the marriage? Am I taking away or am I adding to my marriage? You know, every single day, what do I bring to the marriage? Am I still living in that single type of mentality? Or, you know, have I changed or conformed to the way that I want my marriage to be? You know, those are questions that you need to really ask yourself, because you can be you can be the issue. You can be the person that is causing strife in your marriage, but don't want to say that issue, but put the blame, if you're that type of person, to put the blame on somebody else rather than taking responsibility for yourself. You know, you can be the one that's really causing strife.
You can tell that she's feeling this right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's
she's really feeling this right now. Do we need to have a part 2 of this? I think we need to have a part 2. Folks, this is getting heated, so we're going to bring this back with a part 2, Married but Living Single.
Yes.
Listen guys, we got to cut this one short. Until next time.
Be blessed.
Be blessed. Bye-bye.